So, three-dimensional figures are great because they take place in the world that we're familiar with. But a lot of times, we want to represent those three-dimensional figures on the plane, like on the plane of a sheet of paper or on the plane of a blackboard. We want to be able to capture the essence of that three-dimensionalness, but we only have two dimensions, an x and a y, basically, to represent all that whole. So how do we do that? Well, there are lots of different ways of representing three-dimensional objects, and I want to share with you a few of them and see if you sort of enjoy thinking about the representations. So let's start off with something that's called an orthographic view of a three-dimensional object. So what's an orthographic view? Well, if you think about it, we have 3 degrees of freedom. It's 3 dimensions, right? There's the this direction, there's the this direction, and then there's the this direction. Well, if you had an object sitting in there, you can imagine looking at the object from each of those directions. Now, each of those directions, of course, has a front and a back. So there's a front and a back, and then here, I guess I'd call this, right and left. And then here, this direction, I have up and down. And those are all sort of mutually perpendicular, and sometimes we call perpendicular orthogonal. So orthographic views means that we have 6 different views, front, back, right, left, up, down, for an object. Let's take a look at an example. So here's a neat example I made out of cubes, and you can see it's a little bit exotic. You can see there's a bunch of cubes there. They're put in sort of a interesting shape. And you can see how nice they look all together. And let's take a look at the orthographic views of this shape. Okay, so these are going to be views now drawn on the planes. These are picture views. So here's the shape itself. This is how we might see it in the book. Let me just show you how this really equals that. All you've got to do is sort of look at it, I guess, kind of like that. Right? If you look kind of like that, you can see these 2 sides here. Here, you can see a little bit of the top here. You can see those 3 sides here. This here, you see? And this here. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. Okay, so that's how the image would look. Now, what are the orthographic views? Well, let's take a look. Well, there's the front view, which would just be the head-on front view. Bang! There you go. That's 1 of 6. Now you got the back view, which is going to be whoop. Now notice that with the back view, this thing is sticking up. You see that thing sticking up there a little bit? But we don't care about that. We're looking straight on. Dead-on back view is going to be exactly this. So you can see that. That's the back view. Now we come around to the top. So the top view, you can see, would be exactly this. 1, 2, 3. Again, we look straight down. We don't tilt it. We look straight down. It's fun. Orthographic views. Bottom view. Turn the thing right around, and there's the bottom view. There's the bottom view. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now there's 2 more views to come. There's what's called the left view. The left view. Well, the left view is this view right here. And you can see the L-shaped object, the sort of inverted L shape. And the right view would just be the other side of that, which again you see is a regular L shape. So those are all examples of orthographic views. Orthographic views. Pretty cool. 6 pictures in the plane capture 1 3-dimensional object. Terrific.